Ben, you are so lucky as a Canadian. So lucky.
Well, why is he lucky?
Okay, I was like, I mean, we're gonna. I'm ratting. No one's patting. Well,
am I that lucky, or is it a Canadian thing? I don't know.
I don't know. I've
Is he
never
the
heard
only
of
Canadian
this.
here? Like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, there is other Canadians, but John's never taken us on a tour of Toys R Us. I didn't know that Canada still had them. That's
What?
Dude,
incredible.
I wanted a what's it called, a Gregory giraffe, or what the heck is his name?
Jeffrey.
Motherfucker,
I just said it. Like
what the
2 minutes
fuck?
ago.
I've got a terrible memory. I wanted a Jeffrey giraffe for you guys because I was going to send him to my American buddies, but the guy at the store, he was pretty stoked about it, but I couldn't find a Gandalf one for Zach, and I didn't think you'd appreciate a Slytherin one, so I called it
What
that.
the
But
Zach always be Slytherin.
How dare you? Wait, you were gonna get me a plush of Gandalf? What were you trying to get me?
I was going to get you a Gandalf pop, bud, but if it was a giraffe in a Gandalf outfit, it's got your name on it, man. But couldn't find it, so I'm not that lucky of a Canadian.
A snake in a Gandalf outfit would have been better. But
How dare you, Dean?
that's a D&D reference. I'm not calling Zach a snake.
We don't fucking talk.
I was
about
thinking of
that
another
anymore.
word, but
A fucking rat.
You hate
Are you an angel?
What?
An angel. I heard the deep space pilots talk about them. They're the most beautiful creatures in the universe.
Hello there. We are tonight's entertainment.
We would be honored if you would join us.
He's got a billion toys.
You brought in the adult collection.
These are not dolls, Jim. These are commodities. Same as gold or oil.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Shall we lock in the artillery power?
This is the true form of lore gang right here. Very nice. YouTube.com/collectingweekly. Thank you very much. That's very cool. Big.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Ben Thomas.
Welcome to this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. It's a weekly podcast where my friends and I talk about the things that matter the most to us this week in collecting.
That's right. We want to thank our friends over at 1/6 Corner for sponsoring this week's episode of Collecting Weekly. Guys, don't forget, use code CW10. That's capital C, capital W, 10 during our live recording for 10% off all in-stock items.
We have a great show planned for you guys tonight. We are talking a new Hot Toys release. We're talking some Queen Studio stuff, some Lego stuff, and probably one of our most popular question of the weeks I think we've ever had. Before we get into that, we got Toy Mafia, Tukatri, Ninja Squirrel, Carlito, Nicolio, Brenton, Ben Thomas, David Jones, Sam Gist, Absolute Irwin, KJ Smith, Equan, Badfish in the chat. What's up, guys? Sweet angels. Badfish, how dare you? I asked you to message me last night. My inbox was dry. Dean, before we get into the show, we have a very special segment that all of the best podcasts start off with.
Yeah, you guys ready?
Yes.
It's new this week.
Yeah, what'd you get new this week? So I had a pretty slow week, but all the way from the heart of California, from Sweet Eddie. He sent me the Bat Cycle from McFarlane Toys for the Batman. I just don't have the Batman figure, so the bike is just sitting on my desk right now. I have not been able to find it. I found the unmasked one, but why?
Ain't nobody want that.
Right. At least for this purpose, you know. Maybe it's 6 scale, but even then. But anyway. So I'm looking for that. If you guys have any leads, let me know. And then also the Star Wars The Black Series Clone Wars ARC Trooper, also known as Commander Fordo. Zach and I made this in 6 scale at the very beginning of the show. Way back in, I don't even remember what episodes those were. Maybe even, was that
pre-CW, bro?
Yeah, pre-CW, yeah.
You guys need to release like the Lost Files or something like that, you know?
If you want to hear, okay, so our episode numbering starts obviously with 1, but there's probably like 17 episodes before episode 1. Most of them have been lost to history with a hard drive failure. The first 5 I was able to recover. So if you listen to episode 50 of Collecting Weekly, it's not like a present day episode. It's the first 5 CW ever, like just back to back to back to back to back. That's the whole episode.
That's awesome.
Yeah, a little time capsule.
It's bad. It's not
but
good.
Yeah, so yeah, I wanted to get this. One, because I like Commander Fordo. It doesn't say Commander Fordo, which is kind of a bummer. I guess he's like no longer canon, so they're just call it Arc Trooper. So, but he's a fucking badass, so I had to have this. So, Eddie sent it to me. Didn't have to go shopping around hoping to find it, which is nice.
Is that when you leave on the card, Dean? Or
Wait,
or do
Eddie
you
sent you that?
Well, I had to pay for it, but yeah.
Oh, I was like, did my package get lost, Eddie? What the fuck?
I don't know. It's already kind of coming off the bubbler. Off the bubble. Like the tape is coming off, so I might just open it, but I was planning on just leaving it in here.
Don't do it.
Because I have the 6-scale one anyway, so. But yeah, I really love this, so I'm happy to add that. And I think that's it. I'm waiting for some stuff in the mail, but nothing's arrived, so.
I got you some stuff, but you haven't picked it up yet, so we'll talk about that when you get it.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to put this as a quick aside. If anyone sees a Black Series Umbara Arc Trooper, holler at your boy. It's the black and orange one. I didn't realize they came out, and apparently they released like 3 weeks ago, and I need it. Retail, of course. Ben, if you what'd you get this week, Ben?
So some of you guys already know I went to what's it called? I wanted to say Canadian Tire.
You don't know the draft's name. You don't know the store name.
It's been a day. It's been a day. I went to Toys R Us this week, and there are 4 more locations in town. So I'll keep an eye out for that trooper for you, bud. But I wanted to pick this up. I've had the Batman now. Unlike Dean, I've actually had the Batman in my collection since the movie first came out. I got him in the theater, and he's been sitting there kind of by himself with the Riddler. And I keep seeing people post about this, and then I think it was Brenton that was mentioning this online the other day. And it got me looking for them. And then, of course, I went through Toys R Us, couldn't find anything that I really wanted to buy. And, of course, the pressure of having a new this week meant that I had to spend some money. So, easy to enable myself on that one, but I ended up picking this up. And it's really cool, dude. I'm actually impressed for I think it was $30 Canadian or $35 Canadian. The paint apps on it are sweet. So... But Dean, just a side note to what you were saying there, they have a ton of these Batmans all over the place here. The only downfall is if I get it for you, it's like the shipping. So I don't know if you want to pay the extra on it, unfortunately. But if you end up getting real stuck, just let me know and I'll pick it up for you for sure.
Dean, isn't the Batman McFarlane on Amazon?
I could look right now. I don't know.
Let me check. Let's take a
Last
quick
I
gander.
saw it was, I think it was real expensive.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah, it's not on there anymore. You might want to, or I can check for you. Days of All at Walmart. They just got a shitload of McFarlane stuff, and I didn't know you were looking for one, so my bad. But I'm pretty sure they would have one.
I also I think I saw somebody saying that this bike specifically was, I think it was on Target.com in the States. So I'm wondering if maybe the Batman would be as well.
Yeah, Target does stock a lot of that Batman stuff. Also, due to last week's shenanigans with the stream, in addition to the show sheet and the slides and StreamYard, I now have to watch this to make sure that nothing crazy is happening. So this week is fun. But I did get some really cool stuff. So big shout out to Rainer. He's like the man that can. Like, he could find you any figure, anywhere, anytime, any place. In fact, I think I got, let's see, I know for sure I got Rekka and Tick from Rainer, and I'm almost certain I got Crosshair, and I for sure got Echo from Rainer. So I finally completed the main clones from the Bad Batch. I did get Omega, but she had like a really weird paint defect, and so Amazon's sending me a replacement. I got to send the first one back. And it was one of those things where it's like, I probably could fix this, but I got to buy the paint, mix the paint, match the color, repaint this part, and then hopefully it's not too obvious, or the texture's not different, or the finish isn't different. By that point, I think, now that they're $25, I'm like, if they were $20, I'd probably be a little bit more inclined to repair it myself. But at 25, I expect like a premium collectible when I open that box. But man, they are absolutely stunning on the shelf together. They're so good. In fact, I took them from on top of my DTOF, put them in the DTOF, and I've already done a bunch of weathering on the clones, but I have a little bit more that I want to do. But I'm just super happy with how the team looks.
That's awesome, dude. You said you have the Omega as well, right? Omega?
Yeah, but she's in the shelf right now. Amazon basically told me to wait till the replacement comes to make sure it's better than the first one. But yeah, I do. She's pretty cool. Yes.
Is it just me, or is Wrecker not big enough?
I think he could maybe be a little bit bigger, but when you look at him next to the Omega, it looks fine.
Okay.
But
yeah,
I haven't
seen
pretty,
the Omega figure yet.
Yeah, he's pretty big, but to be honest, he's also a little bit further back in the shelf, so the height isn't.
I have it, and it just seems a little small to me.
Yeah, I guess maybe it could be a little bit bigger, but I mean, for the price, I think even at being a deluxe figure, it was still fairly reasonably priced. I think it was like $30, so I don't know. I mean, it's all new sculpting, great portrait with the digital face printing, so
yeah.
I think it maybe could stand to be 10% bigger, but
that's the really nice thing about these figures is they're all basically unique sculpts for the most part. Like they'll never use that again. So I don't mind spending a little more on these, whereas like I'm not spending $30 on just a regular ass clone trooper anymore. You know what I mean? So I've kind of slowed down a lot on my Black Series buying. But yeah, it's like they'll never use the Wrecker mold again. Like, what could they possibly do except like another Wrecker? You know what I mean? So
for sure, not the Wrecker mold. But I know with Hunter and Crosshair, they share a lot of parts, and then they also use the Hunter armor for the Republic Commando figures.
Oh, do they?
So yeah, because they're just basically commandos, obviously. So there is a little bit of reuse there, but honestly, like the portraits are all unique. Even though it's obviously based off of Tamora Morrison, like they are definitely not just like cut and paste sculpt.
Right.
And most of the armor is like really custom with like custom like paint decals and everything. So, I mean, honestly, like they're not terrible figures for the price.
No, and they're really well done. Like they feel like solid. They don't feel real cheesy at all. I really, really like them.
And the great thing was Omega and Echo, when they did their beginning of the year conference, they said they weren't going to be hitting until I think it was Q1 2023.
Right.
And like a month after that thing happened, people were already finding them in the wild. So
yeah, I started seeing them on Mercari. I was like, what the fuck? But they were putting them for like 65 each. I was like, there's no fucking way I'm paying that.
Yeah, and it sucked because Saturday, like when Rainer found this one, he was at the toy show, and I was messaging one of our San Antonio friends, and he's like, dude, I'm here, I'm selling. I did have one, it literally just sold. Like, sorry, you missed it, bro. And when Rainer got there, he called me, and he's like, do you need anything? I was like, bro, if you see an Echo for like retail or pretty close to it, please pick it up for me. And sure enough, like an hour later, he's like, bro, I got it. I'm on the way to your house right now. What a fucking legend.
It's amazing.
So that was pretty sweet. Now I've been getting into Lego MOCs, and this is the Balrog versus Gandalf set. And as far as the MOCs that I've built goes, this was probably the smallest. This was about, I think it's like 530 pieces. Took like an hour to build. Parts were, I think, like less than $60. I think a lot of what I paid for was shipping from the different vendors. And it's a pretty okay mock. I want to get some joint juice on the Balrog because the joints, they're just like not super stiff. And especially there's like, you can kind of see it off to the side. It's supposed to make like an arch, but it keeps falling. And I think I'm just going to like glue something to it to keep it together because it wasn't really thought out that well. Like I think the person designed it on like a Lego Studio app and then never actually built it to see the issues. But as far as iconic Lego moments goes, like for Lord of the Rings, this is a pretty big moment. It has a little bit of play features, like obviously the arches. I think they are designed to kind of blow away So that's why they kind of fall apart. And then there's that little ball in the front. When you pull it back, the bridge falls like the like the movie. And then there's like a little bar that Gandalf can grip onto to like look like he's hanging. And there's lots of little studs that you can put minifigs on. It's actually pretty neat. So you know, I do plan to since I do have quite a few Lego mocks, I do want to do a small series on the channel of like mock reviews and like kind of go through what I paid for them, you know, the instructions quality, because they do differ quite a bit from builder to builder. Right. And you know, kind of go through my thoughts about each one. So this, if that's something that you guys would be interested in, I'll definitely keep that in mind.
For like a half second, I was like, why is the brand of sacrifice on there? And then I realized it's just
I was behind it, yeah.
You're like way behind it. Yeah. I was confused, but the Balrog looks cool. I like that.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool. He has a light up brick, so when he presses back, it like the orange parts light up. It's nice. It's pretty neat. But yeah, there was another one that I was looking at, but when I priced it out, it was like 5,000 pieces, and it was like $900. It's like, nope, definitely a hard pass. So this one was 400 pieces and like $60. It's like, yes, I can much more easier,
a little more palatable.
Yeah, and plus the other one was all like gray pieces, so you're building a mountain out of 4,000 gray pieces. It just sounded like it would get super.
You know what would be cool is just like go on like Facebook Marketplace and find people just selling tubs of.
Yes,
Lego.
I do need to do that. Yeah.
And then just buy the instructions and try and like do it yourself.
Do it yourself.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure the instructions aren't $500 or whatever. They're probably what, $20?
For this one, the instructions were $6. Bag.
Well, I meant for the big one.
Oh no, that you would need to buy the exact parts because it's not very likely that someone will have the exact quantity and color. And I get.
Well, that's why I was saying try. You know.
Yeah,
futz it here and there. Maybe even take an airbrush to it or something.
Well, I don't really like paint and Lego. Not for me.
Oh,
Hot
yeah,
Toys,
for sure.
Kate Bishop. Oh, go ahead, Ben.
Just gonna say you need decent bonding primer on that shit if you're gonna try and paint it.
Such a paint nerd. Hot Toys dropped Kate Bishop. This is coming in at $270, releasing July to December 2023. I think a lot about this figure looks pretty good. I think the outfit looks like it'll be fairly flexible. I think you can definitely pose this long term with no problems. I think the accessories look pretty good. I think it's great that we got that teaser of Hawkeye in the back of some of these other photos. I think where this figure kind of loses me isn't in the portrait itself, rather the bangs that are in the front. I was on Will's show on Sunday, and I think universally we all agreed as a panel that it almost looks like they forgot about these bangs and they kind of added them in last minute. They just look too thick, and I think that given the fact that they went back and said, hey, we're going to retouch up the hair on the Pattinson Batman and redo the sculpt, I think this is something that in a few weeks we're going to see another work in progress photo. Because I think really the portrait itself is pretty spot on. I think the issue for me mainly lies in the bangs. What do you think, Dean?
I do agree. The bangs look really funny. But I think that's just kind of maybe an issue with the prototype, just trying to get pictures out there. Hopefully they fix that issue. I mean, honestly, I've never really had an issue with Hot Toys hair sculpts before. I'm trying to think of something maybe off the top of my head that I was like, no, that did look bad. But I think usually they come out okay. I think rooted hair would have been terrible on this. So I could look past it. But damn, dude, Haley Steinfeld, bro. I'm gonna have to fucking buy this just because it's her. You know what I mean? I did enjoy the show, and I enjoyed her character. So I wouldn't like be completely opposed to owning this. I like the little belt detail with all the little arrowheads that are there. It's fucking cool. I like it a lot. I'm not gonna trip over myself to get this, and I feel like most people might feel that way, which kind of makes me kind of rethink, like, well, fuck, maybe I should pre-order, because if nobody's pre-ordering it, they're not gonna make that many. You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Double win.
I'm kind of torn. What, John?
I said double win.
Yeah, it's like you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, you know? So, yeah, I don't know. I like it way more than I don't like it. What about you, John?
I can't believe we're pre-ordering figures for bloody 2020, the end of 2023 already, December 2023. That is insane. I think it's fine. It's a 270. It's the average price we're paying now. You're right with the bangs. The bangs, they should have come up with something else. The suit looks cool. I like the arrows. I like the bowl itself, actually. The way the bowl looks is cool. My only gripe with this, and this is, people are going to say I'm crazy, is the bandage. Like the little injury she has to her face. And I know it's screen accurate, but damn, I think I just would have preferred a nice clean portrait as opposed to having that little bandage there.
Yeah, I think more people, or I think less people would have complained if it wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like nobody would have noticed.
Well,
I think you're
do
right.
something where maybe you can put it, if they made it magnetized, a little magnetized piece where you can just, you know, I don't know how that would come across.
That would be the world's smallest magnet.
You know what I mean, though? Like, I don't know. Yeah, but it's true. It would be, but just something. I don't know. I would have liked
head sculpts.
Well, yeah, but then we'd be paying.
That's not the only time she gets fucking nicked on the face in the whole show. She gets her ass kicked pretty often. So maybe like a bloody one and a regular one.
Yeah, but then we're paying. And then people would be complaining about the price point. That's the thing. So it's kind of a lose-lose situation. But other than that, is the portrait, when you look at the figure, do you know who it is? Hands down, of course. You know, it's Cage. But we'll see. It's not one for me, that's for sure. I kind of stopped right now with the Marvel. Give me a Kingpin, I'll be all over it. But I'm going to skip out on this one.
John, check private chat.
So for me, I've got a couple thoughts on this real quick. So in one of the promo images, and I don't think we got it on the screen here, Zach, so I apologize. I probably could have added that for us. I think I saw Clint Barton in the background.
Yes.
I think I saw her up against him. What would have really got me excited about this figure is if they'd came out with both of them at the same time, because the show had such great chemistry between the characters that for me it seems a little weird that they're banking on this one first. Now I feel like they probably have Clint coming. I'm sure it's coming, especially if they teased his back like that. It would be weird, and that's kind of what they did with the Loki and Sylvie combo, right, when Loki came out. But cross fingers there, I think I'd be a little bit more hyped if I saw the
Best
two
Ben
of them.
Han, remember?
I was about to say best. Yeah, they do that shit all the time, bro.
This is not.
You're not wrong.
First, there we go. This is a promo photo there. Dude, I saw you running up for that, Dean. I completely agree. Ben, because to me, I think Hot Toys has this really bad problem with not finishing ensemble casts or even just teams like this, just a 2-person set. And I think as a collector, if I was, and I haven't seen the show, so I could be wrong, but I feel like if I was going to get one, you would definitely want them both. But I personally would feel like I wouldn't even commit to one unless I knew the Hawkeye in the purple suit was coming as well.
Well, and you think they clearly already have a Clint Barton head sculpt. They can age it up a little bit, maybe, just to kind of make him look a little older, a little more weathered like he is kind of now versus his younger days, even in Endgame. But like, I think they should make them. Either way, I think they need to come out with them, because even this picture right here resembles a scene from the very show. No spoilers. The other thing that I really do like about this figure that we're seeing with this Kate Bishop is I like her arm extension. I think it's pretty impressive that with the type of suit she has, she still gets pretty decent like posability with that bow and arrow. It looks really good. One of the things that I don't love about the head sculpt, because I agree with Dean, if you look at this, you know who the person is. When you compare it to a direct shot with Haley is such a beautiful person. But I think one of the things that makes her so beautiful is she's so expressive with her face. And this head sculpt is not expressive really at all. So if they weren't going to give us a second head sculpt that's a little more expressive because they're worried about maybe, like Ant-Man backlash where, suddenly she looks almost a little on the creepy side and not so, not having this kind of demeanor, I'm cool with that. What I would have liked to see then, maybe at this price point at least, since we don't get a ton of accessories, is the rolling eye system. Because she gives the side eye in that show constantly, and she does it really, really well.
Bro,
so if you could
give me the side eye.
Right? So if you could have her kind of looking out the corner of her eye like she's pissed or she got that sassy attitude a little bit, I think even this head sculpt would have been kind of that much better. And with how the hair looks, it almost looks like you should be able to remove it and move her eyes around a little bit. So if for the price point, if they're not going to give us the second head sculpt, I wish they'd done that. And I agree with John on the bandage side there. It's a little off-putting. I think the first time I saw the image, I literally thought maybe it was styrofoam that they just hadn't caught in the promo image until you got to kind of see a different side of it. So, right? I'm like, why? How did they not catch that? But otherwise, I think I'm pretty impressed with it. The only other worry I would have, I think, is the arrows. I wonder how brittle they're going to be because I would want to swap the arrowheads out that she comes with. I think it's cool that she comes with the 6 interchangeable arrowheads. I think that's neat. But, if you're snapping arrows while you're trying to get it all worked out and everything, that's going to be, it's going to be devastating for any of us 6-scale collectors. So, but yeah.
One thing that also stands out to me is she doesn't really have a widow's peak. Like, not really that noticeable of one. And I think the portrait has it pretty prominently. She's rocking that Vegeta dude, bro. I'm not a big fan of that.
What's a widow's peak? Is that like the
it's
part
like
in her hair?
where the hair goes like down on the forehead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she
looks
doesn't
a
really have that.
little Dracula-esque.
There you go. But we'll see. We'll see. Brenton says
Vegeta's. That was a perfect explanation.
Why wouldn't they release this first? They probably figured if you like Hawkeye, you already have one and you don't need a new Clint. Well, if that was Hot Toys' MO, they wouldn't make fucking 7 Jedi Lukes from Return of the Jedi. Releasing her first allows those collectors that option. Loco Luke got the joke there. No Widow's Peak, it's over 9,000. Hot Toys kind of broke the collectors groups this week. They dropped this photo with a message that other Spider people were coming soon. I don't personally think that these are photos of new figures. A lot of people thought that, but I just don't, to be honest. It still has the same ankle style as the original on the Raimi suit. And the body on that figure, like the hips are pretty wide and the thighs are pretty bulky. So to me personally, this just looks like they got some figures out of the archives.
Made some hands.
Snapped a meme photo. Yeah, made some hands perhaps. If these are new figures, I'm not particularly impressed, to be honest, because these look identical to the old ones. I think John always says it, but if you're remaking it, it has to have some innovation with it. And if they're just going to reuse the same body that I don't think was that great for either of these,
bro, the Amazing Spider-Man, that was an amazing figure. Minus the hands.
I had that figure. Garbage. The hands are a pain in the ass, and the body on mine, I don't remember even what happened to mine. I think I gave it to someone for free because it was so bad. I don't know if I just had a bad copy, but like the joints were constantly popping out, like super flimsy. Bro, it was honestly the worst figure I've ever owned.
Mine was amazing, bro. When I got rid of it, I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that. I traded it for a fucking Darth Maul. But to be fair, at the time, that wasn't the MCU Spider-Man, and I was collecting Star Wars. So I was like, oh, Darth Maul makes sense.
How could you?
It was a terrible trade, yeah.
What Darth Maul?
Does it matter?
Sideshow.
Yeah, it was a sideshow.
It was a sideshow on top of it all.
But it was like, it was
the Naboo battle one though. It was pretty.
Yeah, this is a really good one.
I was trying to back you up there, but went silence.
What do y'all think? New or old on these?
Old, 100%.
I don't think the Spider-Man 3 is old, just because it looks. I don't necessarily think it's new either. I don't know what they did, but the body looks different than the original figure. The only way I want to see these come out is a 3-pack. Don't start giving me these individual this and that, especially considering that these have all been out already. Just do a nice simple 3-pack. You save on the shipping, or a 2-pack. It doesn't necessarily have to be a 3-pack.
You
a 2-pack.
Save on the shipping in a big fucking box? No way.
Well, if you want to pick up all 3, me being over here, I'm going to be paying 3 custom charges for each figure.
That's your fault for living in Canada.
The best country in the world.
Well, That's subjective.
Let's
ask the queen; she'll tell you.
2 against 2. But...
Yeah, we asked the queen in 1776, bro. Actually, it was the king back then.
That was a perfect answer. No, I see what you mean, John. But man, that would be a big fucking box, bro.
All I know is people are excited, and that's good for the community. They put out the villains. They're gonna have to put. I think people wanted this before even seeing the villains. So.
Yeah,
for sure. I
Ben
think they wanted it before they even knew they were fucking
Ben makes a
people in
great
the movie.
point here. I know Dean, you said they may have made new hands for the Amazing Spider-Man, but he says this photo looks like the Amazing Spider-Man has regular hands instead of the half hands. That's the only thing to me that points towards this being a new figure. And maybe the second thing, when I had the black suit Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3, which should be the same body as this one, I remember he had like this crazy bulge. It just like really stood out, and I'm not saying it here, so maybe these are new figures. I just remember the hips were really bulky, and he had this fucking bulge, and it just kind of killed the figure for me.
I think if they're gonna do the original Spidey suit, give us the what's his face's portrait, Maguire.
Toby and Garfield.
Yeah, give us the portrait.
I think if they don't, that's a huge shame. That's a huge shame.
Yeah, especially because, they're gonna have to sculpt a new one. They can't reuse the old one where he looks young. They're gonna have to.
And
Hot Toys can. They
would. You know what I said?
Sure
they did a
would, but
Toby.
they
You're right.
shouldn't.
The black suit Toby. The black suit.
Yeah, but that portrait was
It
really
was. It was. Yeah, it
idealized.
was very.
It was not a great portrait.
Yeah, no. But I think what accessories are you gonna do? That's why I'm saying a 2-pack would be good, because you can kind of do the webs and so forth in the one box, and have both Spider-Mans. You need to do a portrait with this. What are you just gonna include with each Spider-Man? What, the web slinging webs, that flipping resin thing they do? Come on.
The little weapons for each of the villains.
Yeah, and then gonna charge us $285 for that? Come on.
Yeah,
that's a good point, John. What could they have? Because I don't think they ever interacted with
a photo of Uncle Ben.
Accessory. Ooh, that's ice cold, John. How dare you?
Like I said, the only thing they could come with is like the weapons. This is the serum, or this is the fucking
or the little spider or something.
I don't love that.
I honestly don't know what they would come with.
If these are new figures, though, I don't love the way that they're kind of giving them to us as a tease, because it's leaving too many questions. It's not a good figure preview for me enough. It makes me go, oh, those look like the old ones. Maybe they're going to come out with the new ones, or is it just a tease? Maybe we're never going to see them. I never also really loved the advanced suit, so for me, I wouldn't want a 3-pack. I would probably only really want the 2-pack if they came out with a combo of Toby and Andrew. And I would honestly end up pairing them with my upgraded suit. What's his name? Spider-Man, right? So, but I agree with Scott. I think you called him Ben earlier, by the way. So thank you for having me on your.
Yeah,
mind,
you
Zach.
did.
But,
I was like, I think he
it's
called
definitely
him
Scott.
Ben.
I think he's right. Maybe these are just the old figures.
Yeah,
you did. You called Scott Bradley Ben, so it's cool. Ben on the brain. I get it. So, but again, maybe it's new hand sculpts on the old figures, or if these are the new figures, as I said, I feel like it's leaving too many questions in people's minds, and it's honestly doing the reverse of getting me hyped. It's making me want to wait and see.
I think what Nicolio said was amazing. Sideshow exclusive, the portal backgrounds.
Oh, that'd be cool.
But somehow do it so that they can actually be coming through it. I don't want no half-ass cardboard.
Maybe like a
clear plastic.
Clear plastic, yeah.
Yeah, but I also don't want to see my other end of the room when he's coming through.
Christ.
You're not wrong.
What the fuck do you want? An actual portal? That's innovation.
Yeah, I feel like I'm almost on board with Ben a little bit, because it's like there's not enough here telling me that these are in fact new figures. So it's like, well, did they just mold some new hands and wanted to make a meme? Like, is that what they did, or are they actually teasing new figures? Like, I'm confused now that we're sitting here talking. So
no, I think it was pretty clear in the post. They're releasing new figures.
The OG body seems different than the original. That's for sure.
I don't know, that bulge. I think you might be right, John.
I do like the fact that they're not all in the same body. They each look different in their own way.
The only thing with the OG is the neck seam. That's the same, which doesn't make sense. But The way the neck seam sits, it's not like, yeah.
Yeah.
I hate to see it. I don't know. I'm trying to pull up the Hot Toys post so I get the exact wording. So just keep this convo going for a minute. Facebook is being real slow.
That's, well, yeah. I fear that they're doing the OG Spider-Man from the actual original movies as opposed from this. Because Toby's a little bit skinnier in this. Yeah. You know what I mean? In No Way Home, this guy looks pretty beefed up here.
Real quick, Badfish says, isn't that the final suit on the left? There's one more suit in the movie, Badfish, if you haven't seen it yet. Hot Toys says, in case you've been wondering, here's a staged meme featuring all your favorite web slingers in figures, hashtag coming soon.
There you go, hashtag coming soon.
Let's
well, then shut up, Ben.
Hey, you know what? It's purposely vague. It's like with Queen last week doing
vag?
Don't talk about Queen like that.
Did you say it's perfectly vag, bro?
The Queen's vag?
Vague, bro.
No, you didn't say vague. You said vag. Someone check the tape.
He said a Canadian. He said vague.
Yeah, I think that's actually what he said.
The vagina.
The vagine. Queen Studios dropped. It's such the way these photos are coming out is so weird. Like other people are dropping them, and we're having to see if they're actually legit photos. But there was 2 photos that came out this week of the InArt 1/6 scale Gandalf. They've also said, I believe, I want to say on Man of Hot Collectibles stream, I could be wrong, that they're only offering this as a rooted version.
Correct.
That was told to me on Will's stream. So I think that's great. I mentioned that I don't think it's possible to do a sculpted hair Gandalf to a high degree. And then we also got this photo here of someone working on painting a Gandalf, which to me is just kind of weird. Like, I don't understand why you would paint it after you root it, 1. And then 2, I don't understand why you'd be painting it with the clothes on the figure. So I really hate when people do this gimmicky photos. Yeah, super weird to me. Especially painting the mouth. You would think they'd paint that before they add all the hair around it. At any rate, I think it looks beautiful. I think it's going to be an expensive figure. I think Queen, in my opinion, is very clearly not gunning for that entry-level figure price point of like $250 to $280. These are, I would be shocked if we see this any less than $500 for a single pack. And hopefully, when it comes out, it looks like this, and the decrease from proto to final isn't too bad. And I hope that they have a way to get it into people's hands with the hair looking like this, because I think Asmus in the past, what they do with rooted hair, and a bunch of other companies, this isn't just Asmus, Hot Toys included, they'll put a bunch of product in the hair to keep it from being damaged during shipping, and it ends up with the average collector not wanting to futz. They'll take it out and it'll look terrible, when really all it takes is maybe 20-30 minutes of futzing to get it to look right. So I think if they can find a way to do all those things, I think it's going to be a really good figure. But I doubt when you open the box, this is the quality that the hair is going to be. I think you are going to have to do a little bit of combing, a little bit of futzing to get it to look like this. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think it's probably the best Gandalf out there. That being said, it is a prototype. I totally agree with you. Right before you said that thing about the painting, I was like, why is he painting the mouth with the beard already on it?
Dean.
And then you've said,
I think, Dean, your connection's dropping out. Yeah, you're dropping out real bad. I think it may be, if you want to just reset.
You're better now, I think.
Yeah, you're good now. I think you're good.
In regards, there we go.
Yeah, I was talking.
Yeah.
I made like a whole point. What did you hear? Nothing?
Right when it said the mouth, painting the mouth was.
Yeah, it was like painting the mouth.
Okay, anyway.
To be fair, though, if I may,
yeah,
stream quality is excellent. So I don't think it's StreamYard or YouTube right now.
He always finds a way to blame me, guys. Don't worry.
I thought it was Ben, to be honest.
I think it's the best looking Gandalf we've seen. It is a prototype, so I'm not really holding my breath. But, again, those are also prototypes, I guess. The Joker 2-pack. Those looked amazing, you know. I don't know if I'm willing to spend that kind of money though on a Gandalf. I want a Gandalf, but not that bad, you know. Especially when you have your pick of the litter, you know. At this point,
I think Crown Series. I said this right before the second batch of Crown Series came out, but I said they were going to drop to about 280 in the secondary market. I think when this hits, they're going to drop as low as like 250. I think it's going to be more people selling than people buying. I think it's going to be a pretty sweet time to pick up a Crown Series Gandalf.
Well,
if you're
that's
interested.
probably when I'll make my move, because yeah, it's like I really like Gandalf and I've wanted one in my collection for a long time, but not $800, you know, $600, whatever these are going to cost. How much was this Joker single pack?
Joker single pack was $350.
Rooted?
That's what
not rooted, not rooted.
No, they didn't make a single pack.
They didn't make single pack rooted yet.
Oh, they didn't make a single pack rooted. Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If the dual pack Joker, they were $500 a piece, there's no way this is less than $500.
No, you're going to pay big bucks for the rooting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's two. You're getting the head is rooted, and then the whole face is rooted. Like I mean, that's like double the rooting, bro.
Yeah, and it looks incredible, but again, it's like, how do I know it's gonna look like this until it comes out?
You have faith.
So it's like you're gonna give me quite possibly another 3-day window and hope it looks good. No way, not for that kind of money. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I think this will land 425 to 550. I think that's the sweet spot. And I think when it comes out, it's going to be worth every penny. We haven't seen accessories. We haven't seen anything. A picture of the staff with his pipe. God knows what else they're going to include there. Even if they include as an exclusive fax machine or shadow box. What's the name of the horse?
Shadow.
That was a bad joke.
Shadow
I
fax.
feel ashamed.
Who the
that was
fuck
amazing.
threw that motherfucking busted ass goddamn Adidas?
A while, man. But no, I'll tell you right now, Queen will learn from the 3-day window. You won't see another 3-day window. I can guarantee you that.
We already just saw one. Those goobers fucking made the Mark 1 Iron Man and left all this shit off the base.
No,
You know
but
what I'm
that's not a
talking
3-day window.
That's a huge error, bro.
It's not an error. You don't know if it was done purposely or not. We're not going to
They
get into
said
that.
it was too late to go back and fix it.
That's
bro.
for Friday. That's for Friday.
That's for Friday, but that's a fucking big mistake.
Let's keep that for Friday. Or we could talk about it now if you want. We'll open up a segment and talk about it.
Friday.
Okay. Back to Queen. This is going to obliterate every... I'm surprised if you'll be able to give Crown Series Gandalfs out for free at that point. Because this is going to obliterate the market. The whole line. You're going to go for Asmus for the side characters that they may not do. Bilbo. Who else? Start naming me people. I don't know. Bilbo.
I mean, Eowyn, Theoden. Like, there's a
Stuff
ton
like
of characters
that.
they're not going to make.
Yeah. So that's where you're going to want to go for Asmus. But are you going to put an Asmus next to a Queen Studios figure? You'll be able to tell the difference in the quality, that's for sure. Regardless, to stick with Queen, the topic of this figure, I'm excited. I think I may jump on it. I think I'm going to be in this whole line, to be honest. But I'm excited to see the accessories. I want to see more. They said May, so it's going to be, next week? So hopefully they roll it out quick. But I have faith. I have faith in them.
For me, I feel like when Queen started kind of announcing the possibilities of a 1/6 line, it made me want to almost cheat on Hot Toys, right? Start kind of looking at their figures, looking at what options might come out. But then when they started releasing the prices, I'm with Dean on this one, the prices deter me a little bit and it keeps me kind of on edge. I feel like because I haven't seen an actual physical, like in-hand figure for anybody yet, it feels like we're banking on hopes and dreams with Queen Studios, which I don't like doing. It feels like I'm gambling with my money a little bit, and it's not easy for us in Canada to pick these up. We end up paying through the nose just to be able to get them, and so what ends up happening is, well, a couple things for me, I don't do badly for income, but I only have a certain amount of income every year that I can allocate to 1/6 scale or collectibles. So if the dollar amount per figure is going to exponentially increase, I'm going to have to get a whole lot more selective on what figures I'd even want to buy. And the days of wanting to buy a whole line of figures for me may be out the window, because there's still so many other cool franchises out there. There's so many cool characters that I love that, like, it's making me feel figure fatigued before I've even got a Queen Studios, figure in hand. And honestly, if the prices, if they're gonna release these figures at such high prices, it's going to push me back to Hot Toys, because at least with Hot Toys I can get a couple more figures a year that I'm still really happy with the quality on. So I think, their goal originally should have been to steal as much Hot Toys business as humanly possible, but it doesn't seem like they're necessarily going that way if this is the kind of cost that we're going to expect. And I'm really unwilling to kind of part with my money until I really start seeing in-hand photos. The only downfall with that is that if that means then I miss some of these windows, then I guess I missed the opportunity to get them, and there's no way I'd buy at the secondary price on
Ben,
them.
And we'll touch on that in a moment, because that's a really good segue into after the break. Carlito says all the missteps, or after all the missteps and miscommunications by InArt, and at these price points, we should all take a step back and see how their first figure turns out in production before we keep shelling out NRDs.
Ben,
I wouldn't recommend selling your crown, I think personally, until this one comes out and you can verify that it is better. John?
Ben, did you pre-order the Joker by InArt?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I rest my case.
Hey, but that's
Jesus Christ.
No, not really though, because again, that was a first time. It was a beautiful figure. I wanted to get a Joker. The Heath Ledger Joker is easily one of my favorite characters of all time.
But you chose to go Queen instead of Hot Toys.
Well, I already have the DX11 Hot Toys.
How about the 12?
I don't the DX12 I've got it, but as a Batman, so
you're doing worse than Johnny Depp, buddy. Anyways,
he did good. What are you talking about?
I haven't been following it.
They windmill slammed Amber Heard today.
He crushed it. But no,
I agree with what Carlito's saying though in regards to the NRD, to take it easy. If they're not limited, like if they're not putting this is 500 only or this is whatnot, let's forget about the windows. But let's say if they're not limiting it, yeah, don't go rush and put an NRD down. If they're keeping the orders open.
Ben, I like what you said about the whole gambling thing. Because you chose to gamble on the Joker, because you already have one. So you don't really have anything to lose, I mean, other than $1,500. But you can resell that, potentially for more if you're really that unhappy, because you already have that figure. For someone like me, I don't have a Gandalf. So to want to shell out, potentially $600-700 on this, that's a tough pill to swallow, and that is a complete gamble, right? I have no idea what it's going to look like. They haven't, in my opinion, I know they make other products, don't get me wrong, but they haven't proven themselves. Prototypes always look fucking amazing, right? So maybe there's a huge, gap in quality when it finally comes out. I don't know. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but it could.
Well, and I see Badfish here saying that like I'm contradicting a little bit, which I can see why he feels that way. But like I said to John, Heath Ledger Joker is one of my favorite characters of all time. So if I was going to gamble my money, that $1,500 that I could easily lose if it comes out and it's the shittiest figure I've ever seen, at least it was on one of my favorite figures of all time, or characters. As much as I like Gandalf, I don't know if I'm willing to part with $600 to $800 for him if he doesn't come out as good as we're all hoping. So then that to me feels like more of a gamble, because as I said, if I gamble well with Heath, then I got the Heath that I've always wanted. And if I gamble poorly on that one and it comes out really crap, well then I'll just never buy Queen again and go about my day. Whereas Hot Toys price points are a lot lower. So there are a lot of figures I've bought in Hot Toys that I'm like, it's not my favorite character, but it's a cool figure, so I'll pick it up, right? The $200 to $300 price point. When you're getting into that $600 price point, I'm thinking that's 2 Hot Toys figures that I could pick up in my collection. I'm not sure it's worth the gamble.
What Punisher says here, I completely agree. This isn't a company that's coming out of the woodwork that we've never seen their product,
right?
Or a product that they've put out to market. Their statues, they're putting out production photos of their statues, and the end result the end result is there for Queen.
Statues are not 6 scale figures.
It doesn't matter. They're not.
Sideshow makes badass statues. They don't make badass 6 scale figures.
Yeah, but you can't
That
compare.
is true.
But Sideshow and Queen Studios are completely different. You shouldn't be comparing the two. The quality and production from
But you
Sideshow.
don't know that.
How do I not know
for
that?
Sideshow?
Yeah, the quality and production for Sideshow is not at the same level that it is for Queen Studios. We see Queen Studios doing busts with silicone and rooted hair and taking on projects like that, and they're able to execute it. Yeah, is it a risk? It's a risk, but I think it's a calculated risk because, again, they're a company that's coming to market and they have the history. Not only that, yeah, their communication is a little off right now. They need to fine-tune it, but I think they were able to, and I'm still a little upset about the Windows situation because we were promised a statement. We're still waiting for a statement. So I think there's some games that are being played there, but you do have to give them credit in the sense that their communication to the collector is like no other. I messaged Queen Studios within 2 hours. I had a response in regards to the statue publicly.
None of this has to do with the quality of the figure.
But it does in the sense that they listen to the collector, they take feedback, and it just shows that a company with open communication, I can't see them taking $600 to $700 from everybody and then giving us a poor product.
No.
Molecule.
I don't think.
What bothers me though is, John, even though they got back to you, they weren't willing to delay the statue to make it right.
Because is the change sufficient enough to delay the statue?
Yes.
I don't think so. I
100% think
decals,
so.
bro. That takes what?
I don't think
seconds.
The thing with me, John, is there's been too many things. Like now that I've been focusing on Queen, it's like a new thing every week.
Yeah.
And to me, there's just too many missteps.
Hot Toys.
Like Hot Toys fucks up a lot.
Hot Toys fuck, and people still throw their money at them. Still.
Not me, my friend.
Boom. Well, not you, but
but I'm an equal opportunity roaster. I'll roast the shit out of Hot Toys and I'll roast the shit out of Queen.
All we have to do, we can talk. I can sit here literally until this figure releases and back Queen or go against Queen. We have to wait. We have to wait and see.
That's what all of us are saying.
I personally think that when these figures come out, you're not even going to compare. You won't even be able to compare.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
You won't be able to compare.
It's the reason.
I don't doubt it's going to be amazing.
Well, and it's their statue game that's the reason that I was convinced to still spend the $1,500 on the two Jokers, because at least they did have a bit of a history. But if I'm looking to invest in a new company that's not Hot Toys, those big price points are a little bit of a tough nut to swallow. When I'm looking at also
what? Bro, what the
it's Canadians.
That is not a saying, bro. Bro, Canadians say that? John, is that true?
I don't know what this psycho's talking. He's not Canadian.
That's not a saying.
Bro. He likes nuts. He's a squirrel.
That's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, no, a hard nut to swallow. Was that a Freudian slip?
Think of the
John, clip that, please.
What time is it at?
Oh, let's go. That's class.
Fucking nut.
Man.
Swallowing nut, bro.
52 minutes.
52. I'm not a Queen Studios apologist, whatever the fuck it is.
It sounds like you are.
But come on, guys.
Think of the Exo-6 figures that I've been.
Don't be talking about Exo-6. Don't be comparing Exo-6
Those are coming out
here.
at $180 per figure, and they are all different head sculpts. They have different uniforms,
of
different
Star Trek.
paint-apps.
I almost fell asleep in that segment.
I know you did, but the Star Trek fans that are out there are loving those figures, and for $180, I'm willing to buy. If I can get $600, I could get like what?
Do you not understand something? Let me tell you something that's clear as day.
I'm ready for it. I'm ready for it.
Queen Studios.
You're gonna love my nuts. You're gonna love my nuts.
Queen Studios is producing these figures not for the North American market, for the China market. So the quality has to be there, because they won't buy. That market will not buy.
What are you talking about, bro? Have you ever bought something made in China?
Oh my god, you guys think it's a joke? Fine, it's been.
John, to me,
it's a joke. The show's turned to a joke.
What you're saying? How is it a joke? You're
like
making these points. John, you're making these points,
Bro, your
and
point.
you know how big Iron Man is over there, and you're telling me they're releasing a quarter scale Iron Man statue missing Stark Industries logos? Bullshit, bro.
That's fine, Zach. We wait and see, Zach. Wait and see, my friend.
I like how John's like, I'm not a Queen Studios apologist, but the second you give them any
John,
shit, he's
you
like,
you
no,
will,
no.
If I was the first one,
you'll nuke Hot Toys.
Nobody
for
on
much
this
less.
panel, nobody on this channel, even in the chat, can tell me I didn't go for Queen Studios' neck when that whole Joker thing came out. I went straight for the jugular with them. I'm just telling you, when it comes to product,
straight up swallowing their nut.
when you see their product, you're gonna see. I'm fucking sick and tired of these guys. Oh, Hot Toys and Asmus and those fucking trash, garbage. You're gonna see garbage. Zach, you got your fucking Queen Gandalf. You spent 3 weeks futzing that shit to get it to look the way it is.
I
You
spent like 10 minutes. What are you
whatever
talking
painting
about,
this and dyeing the suit and this? I'm not
That's
buying
like 8 different Gandalf figures, though.
I'm not buying a figure so that I
was
can
the
drench the
$40
suit.
sideshow.
Oh, okay. So I could drench the suit and do this, and I want to buy the figure
But
out
you
of the
realize,
box.
But
in
John,
a character like Gandalf, it's not like the Joker where everything's like a 3-4 piece suit. It's gonna lay nicely. You're gonna get that out of the box, and shit's gonna be everywhere.
This
But not
this
only
piece
that-
at $600 to $700 is not for the average collector. It's not.
Oh yeah, I literally said that when I started the segment.
So
yeah.
then we can move
Again,
on.
you don't have any evidence to back that up, though. What if Zach gets this and he does have to futz the fucking shit out of it? That's the point we're making.
Yeah, but Zach
Or
did
at
not
least
just
I'm
futz.
making.
Zach did not futz. Zach, I can guarantee you're not gonna have to take his clothes off and drench it and then steam it and then this and that.
What are you talking? This is
How
And then
can you
root-
guarantee
Zach
that?
rooted his
They've
own
never-
hair.
They haven't released a 6-scale figure yet.
Zach
you can't
rooted his
guarantee
own.
that.
You know what that's
Yeah,
called,
that-
Zine? It's called fucking experience, Zine. It's experience.
Zine?
Zine. It's
John,
experience.
you're
Experience
confusing.
of what? They're fucking
hang on.
statues that don't need futzing?
How do they not need
John,
futzing?
you're
There's
confusing.
there's
you're confusing
rooted hair
like
with their
three
statues.
You're confusing like 3 different figures that I have.
That's fine, Zach.
One, I rerouted the Asmus
beating a dead horse.
original because it was bad, and I said it was bad, and everyone knows it was bad. The crown.
Mark, take
needs
that
no-
comment. Take that comment, Mark. Bend over and stick it where the sun doesn't shine.
The sun doesn't shine.
Whatever.
Mark says-
Poor
All right,
John,
let's-
bro. He's so
Yeah.
flustered he can't
Here we go. Let's get to the real product here. The fucking
get to the real meat
the
and
real
potatoes.
figures. Fuck Queen Studios. You better move the fuck over, buddy. You
Exo 6 is coming.
you better
Exo
move
6
over.
Cisco, the essential version, 180.
Fucking
US
donk, donk, donk.
dollars, or the standard version. Okay, you can't tell me the show's a joke and then you fucking cracking up like that too. We're having fun, bro. This is what Collecting Weekly is all about. It's fun. You look at these other shows. It's like you're at a funeral. You're reading a fucking.
Oh, we're gonna have some business. Look at this
We
here.
gotta have some gabagool on the
Gotta
boat.
have some gabagool.
Fucking Ben Thomas coming over here. I'm not fucking touching Queen. Ordered both Jokers. Fuck off, you fuck.
Ben Thomas coming over here swallowing that nut, bro.
Tough nut, bro.
I'm just saying I would rather have 3 Star Trek figures than one expensive gamble that I'm not 100% sure is actually going to turn out. At least we've seen physical prototypes in person at a Comic-Con of these Star Trek figures. We know they're good. We know they're good. They might not be $700 figures, but they don't have to be because we haven't been able to get a good representation of these guys in our collections before. And I know it might put you guys to sleep, but there are a ton of Star Trek fans out there that are going nuts for these guys. Nuts.
They're swallowing the nuts. I'm
They're
here. We're
swallowing
talking about
the
it. Ben,
nuts.
tell us about this.
It's all about the nuts. And like honestly, like this guy specifically, I mean the figure comes with a whole bunch of shit that I think is amazing. It's got magnetized like magnets in his side where he can have the gun strapped on him. There are the 2 different versions, right? So for the 180, you get kind of the slimmed down version, which they call the Essentials line. I think that's kind of interesting because the more deluxe copy here, they actually call that the standard line, which is really confusing. So I think that might just be a bit of a language barrier. I'm not sure, but I think with the standard line, for me, if I were going to pick up this Ben Cisco, it's going to be that standard because it comes with the swap out outfits. It comes with the phaser rifle. And he's just a badass actor, an iconic actor in the world, essentially. I mean, Avery Brooks is amazing. And I think the more we support price points like this and figure quality like this, the more as collectors we're going to win ultimately, because we've talked about inflation of figures in the past. I know Zach and Dean have said that about things like Iron Man, right? If we keep paying $600 for an Iron Man, next it's $800, and then it's $1,000, and then it's more and more and more. If these guys are starting at $180 to $215 for the deluxe or the standard option, by the time they reach $300, who knows what they could be coming with?
What other licenses do they have?
I don't know. I don't know if they have any other.
That's
I
the
think
thing.
Star Trek.
That's why they're doing 120. The thing, it's Star Trek. Not to say
sure.
anything against Star Trek, but you're not going to get a $120, $180 Marvel Spider-Man figure or Doc Ock.
But you could get a $180 Bilbo.
Yeah,
Lord of the Rings is arguably one of the biggest franchises in the world.
Nothing against Star Trek, but has only given shit against Star Trek this whole time.
And franchises that are hot right now aren't necessarily going to be hot in 5 years from now, right? They're coming out with new Star Trek shows all the time. For this new show that's coming out, Strange New Worlds, what if that ends up being the best show that Star Trek has ever come out with, and suddenly, boom, this is top of the market, and Exo-6 has the corner? You laugh now.
To Ben's point, the Picard figure, if they stick to their no reissues guns, I mean, it's a crazy expensive. It might be the most, like, percentage-wise, like, increase that I've seen in a while.
Because there's
like,
leg room.
Buku money.
There's leg room to catch up. They're leaving meat on the bone for the scalpers and the resellers to take the money.
So
right?
Would you rather than price them at $400 or
no? I don't care what they do.
Everyone had a chance to get it at $180.
That's
you
the
just
thing.
Missed the boat.
But I'm just telling you that was like the old collecting. Even old Hot Toys was like that. And then the scalpers came in and the companies woke up. It's just how it works.
I guess what I'm trying to say is that for me, I've always been a Star Trek fan. So I appreciate the fact that Exo-6 has a license with Star Trek. And if they're able to keep their costs low and still put really good quality figures in our hands, then that 100%. For me is a win as a collector. If Queen really wants my business, they need to earn it. I need to see more from them. I need to have some of those figures in hand. That's why I pre-ordered the Joker, because if I get that Joker in hand and it's the best thing I have ever seen, and it abolishes all my desire to collect 1/6 otherwise, then I will eat my words. On this channel, I will come on this show and I will.
No, don't come on this show, please.
This is the biggest. This is the best figure I've ever.
I don't know.
Seen.
You're giving Canada a bad name. Nuts. Fucking. What is this today?
Not at all. But as I said, I'm very excited about this guy, and there are more to come. I think that they were saying there's going to be anywhere from 30 to 40 more releases this year is what their goal is. And so you're going to hear me talk about this nonstop.
That is pretty incredible, though, that they're going that deep into the line. Carlito says there has to be a limit to 1/6 figure pricing. If the price keeps going up, it'll push statue pricing up too. No way figures and statues will be at the same price ranges.
Yep, that's what's happening. Yep.
I think I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you're already paying essentially $500 for one 1/6 Ruta Joker, and that's almost the price point of a quarter scale sideshow statue, which obviously different quality, but the fact that a 1/6 figure can be up in that price, I think other things are going to go.
$500 for the Joker 2-pack, $765 for the Mark 1 quarter scale. Difference of how much? That's nothing.
Yeah, but that quarter scale's missing a bunch of shit.
Let's blow through this real quick.
Pull a Will Smith, I'm telling you, man.
Wow. Let's blow through these real quick. Lego dropped a bunch of new sets today in the Star Wars range. Lego Republic Tank, $39.99, includes 3 clone troopers, 2 battle droids, and a Mace Windu. 6 minifigs for $40. You love to see it. They also released the $60 Death Star Trench Run diorama. This is a fucking awesome set. I do not believe it comes with any minifigs, but you got an iconic scene that you can put on your shelf.
That's sweet.
$79.99. I think this is my favorite of the bunch. The Dagobah Jedi training diorama. You got the Red 5 X-Wing in the water there. Luke doing a handstand. Yoda the Hutt. You'll love to see it. And then for $89.99, I think this is actually a really neat one as well. Ton of minifigs. You got Leia, Luke, Han, and Chewie for $89.99. And then you also get the trash compactor diorama. But on the reverse, it almost is like the Queen Studio statues where there's another little mini display on the back. You get C-3PO and R2-D2 with the data port to close, or to stop the closing rather, of the trash compactor. So this one's the most expensive of the bunch at $90, but definitely a really cool set. You can actually squeeze the walls together and all the garbage kind of slots in and puzzles together, and you're able to display it in both ways And so I think that is a pretty neat thing, and these are hitting Lego stores now. Hot Toys did release the tumbler, and as a part of that release, they also put a upcoming releases. They've done this in the past. They're doing it again, which is great. I think they kind of fluffed it up a bit because they have the DX21 Batman and the tumbler in this photo when they've already released. So in the photo, you got the Red Venom artist vinyl figure, Taskmaster, you got the 2099 Miles Morales figure, the Spider-Verse Miles Morales, the Mark V, the classic suit Iron Man, the Clone Wars Anakin with the Stap, Jango Fett. You also have, I think this is the tank driver on the left, Moff Gideon, and then Snowspeeder Luke. So definitely a great assortment of figures there. I don't know if it's a Taskmaster, but there's Taskmaster too. Are you guys excited for any of these? Because honestly, most of these, at one point or another, I was excited, but they've just taken so long that even the figure I was most interested in, which was Miles, I've kind of lost interest in it, to be honest.
The only one I'm really excited about is the Snowspeeder Luke, because that's
here.
been a grail figure of mine for as long as I've been collecting. The only way to get it originally was the Sideshow one. And that motherfucker was so expensive on the aftermarket. I think it still is. I don't know. But yeah, so to add this, I'm going to be super stoked.
Punisher says, I want the 89 Batmobile. Yeah, brother. You got to go over to eBay and pay $2,500. Don't be asking for no reissues here. I'm with Dean. Snowspeeder Luke is the one. That's pretty much it. What's the other one there? What's his face? Gideon. Gideon's not bad, but Luke's the one that, for me, Taskmasters and Batman, well, we already know what that is. But I think from this launch, that's the one. Snowspeeder Luke is the one to get, in my opinion.
I hate to say it, but I agree with John. I like the Snowspeeder Luke as well. I think it's a really good looking figure. I love the head sculpt on it. And I would also say the Miles Morales from the Spider-Verse. I've been really looking forward to that figure. Overall, I think the posability looks really cool. I really like the suit and some of the accessories that it comes with. I like both Miles, though, to be honest, but for slightly different reasons. I think the only thing that bugs me, or I shouldn't say bugs me, the concern that I had when I saw this photo was that it seems to me a little bit like, you know, in the chats and in some of the other channels, a lot of people are saying that they're canceling a lot of their Hot Toys pre-orders. And when I see a photo like this, it to me screams that Hot Toys is kind of trying to say, hey, don't forget about us. Look at all the things that we have coming. And it feels less like an exciting preview and more like a please don't forget about us. Trying to keep the hype going. But for me, it seems like it's upsetting a lot more people than it's worth. And I know that there are, I think, a few figures that are actually missing from this photo. I don't know which ones they are offhand.
Taskmaster.
Taskmaster is in the bottom.
Or, I'm sorry, not
there,
Taskmaster. Cable. Jesus.
Cable. That's
Cable.
the one. And I know Cable's been one that people have been waiting for forever, right? And so,
forever, bro.
As I said, it almost is more of a concerning photo than I feel like it was an excitement photo.
And Ahsoka.
It's like a life buoy that they've kind of thrown out there to say, don't forget about us. We still have figures coming.
Which Ahsoka?
Ahsoka, the one everyone.
Rosario Dawson one.
No, I think
because they already released the clone. No, they released that one like 2 weeks ago.
Clone Wars one came out. Yeah.
Yeah, we talked about it on the show.
What's his name? Mark was getting.
Yeah, from Sideshow, from the distribution.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
You hate to see it.
I have a question for you, Ben. Before we move on.
Sure.
Of course.
It's gonna make it or break it.
Uh-oh.
Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh my goodness. I honestly I can't choose. I've had that debate for my entire life.
I'm joking.
I like it for such different reasons. I love the Star Wars battles. I love the characters in Star Wars. I love the story. But I also love about Star Trek that it's not all about battles. It's about using your head and your brain and your ability to speak and communicate and all of that. And that's how I've always tried to live my life, being well spoken. So I love both for very different reasons.
So you won't tell us which one's your favorite?
As a kid, I would say that I would have leaned more to Star Trek because it was something that I watched with my mom every week. So I had like that family connection with it. Star Wars, I've grown to love more as an adult, I think.
John, 16 Corner, tell us about them.
Yeah, we want to thank our 1/6 Corner. Their mission is to provide the best figures and collectibles to their customers. They offer great prices, great packaging, fast shipping, best in the business customer service. Collecting Weekly listeners get 10% off in-stock figures while our show is live. All you have to do is use code capital C, capital W, 10. You can choose your figures, pay safely with PayPal, and you leave the rest to them.
Something happened this weekend, and Dean, I just don't think that 1/6 scale collectors are built for like real collectible collecting.
Yeah.
Kit from 1/6 Kit posted on his Facebook page a in-hand photo of the Present Toys Indiana Jones, and the chat was blowing up. People were like, "Please, if you have any extras, invoice me immediately. I'll pay right now."
This was just for the coat?
No, for the whole figure.
Okay.
For the whole figure, it was about $150, I think. And Kit said he was going to release a pre-order link. I think it was like at 9 o'clock sometime. I don't know. And the link went live 1 minute early. And bro, you would have thought Kit murdered these people's families by the comments he was getting. Bro, people were bitching, bro. And I get it, right? If you're expecting 9, sure. But I think if 1/6 becomes collectible like this, in the sense where there's only 200, only 300. In this case, I believe Kit only had 13 boxes excess. And those went almost instantly. These people were so fucking pissed. And Kit released a statement. I don't think I've ever seen Kit release a statement. He said, "I'm here to make 2 apologies regarding the Present Toys Indie. I apologize that I didn't think carefully. I didn't arrange the announcement and had sales orderly. Tonight we were invited for a family gathering in Hong Kong. Because Hong Kong loosened the gathering restrictions. Social contact is important for kids, so I set everything up and joined the gathering. The link on our site went live 1 minute earlier than the set time. I set the alert and posted the link on Facebook at 2100 hours and then realized the figure had already sold out in a few seconds, so I removed the post instantly." He then apologizes that they will need to cancel some of the orders because the system took orders that exceeded the limit he set. "I'm not sure if it's a system error or lag between my site and PayPal. We will never do this again as I cannot predict the error and disappointment." And he had mentioned that they canceled, one of our friends that's good friends with Kit said it was something like 40 orders were canceled. "We'll refund and cancel all the orders after this order number and will issue 1,000 reward points for each cancellation. Please accept my sincere apologies." The link on our... He said, "I would like to explain to you that we made no money. Indeed, we are losing money for this event. Take into consideration the rewards points we're going to issue. As explained in the previous post, I'm not trying to create panic sales. Considered all the inquiries we received in the last 3 days. I thought it was the most fair way for everyone, but we failed. During my home trip, I read all the comments in the previous post, and yes, I agree, it's a shit show. We will never do this again. If there's ever the same situation in the future, we'll just put the figure up at a random time at a market price. Lastly, as I mentioned in the previous post, there are other vendors who will offer the figure. They're just slower than us. I see now many links on eBay that you can still get them there. And again, as I mentioned, high chance there will be a reissue from Present Toys. So people who missed the window, please relax." It was, I call it Indiegate, bro. People were so fucking mad. And I had no interest in the figure. I think it looks great. Don't get me wrong. But I think what Ben was saying earlier, you can't always, and Dean said this as well about the Cloud last week, you can't always wait. Sometimes you got to pull the trigger because as soon as the first in-hand photo of this went live, 1/6 Corner sold out, 1/6 Kit sold out, TNS sold out. I mean, it was like a panic sale. Everyone was trying to buy them at retail. And I think it's a cautionary tale, especially for these very small batch figures like Dean, the Officer K that we have. That one sold out, and they did make a second batch. It took them about a year, but it evaporated fairly quickly. And I don't remember how you got one, but I remember you were like pretty shocked that you were even able to secure one.
Yeah, it was Gregory.
Yeah, and then same with Cloud. You missed the boat on that one, and you're the biggest Cloud fan, and now that's like
I missed the boat before the pre-orders all sold out.
Yeah.
I could not find one to save my life, and I'm still without the figure, and it fucking bums me out.
Yeah, I hate to see it. So,
do you think this, if Hot Toys is watching this gets their blood flowing and possibly doing a reissue?
I think so. I think it's going to be hard because I don't think Harrison Ford licenses his image anymore, from what I've heard. But I mean, this is a pretty good figure. I'm not really here to get into the moral fallacies of recasting and whatnot. But I mean, the figure looks good. I think they did a great job. I think Present Toys, with this release, in my opinion, solidifies them as one of the better third-party makers out there. Because the cut and sew on this leather jacket and the pants and the boots, shit looks fucking really good.
He came out and apologized, which is good, but you got to realize this is business is business. If you're gonna say it's 9 o'clock, you're better off doing it at 9:01 than 8:59. So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was an issue, according to him at least, it was just an issue with the automation, which I've seen that happen before on our end on YouTube, so I get it. But, you know, it sucks, but I mean, he did lose money on this deal, and
shit happens.
Shit happens. Our topic of the week is red flags. And Ben, you gave us the topic, so tell us what it's about, and we'll have you kick off the segment.
Yeah, so I was thinking about this the other day because and quick shout out to Scott Bradley out there, because he reached out to me with a 1/6 figure that I'm looking at potentially picking up, and awesome dude, but I never met him before. So I was thinking about it, you know, like, what are some of the red flags that I need to look for if I'm going to just buy a 1/6 figure or a collectible in general from somebody who I've never talked to, never met, no relationship with, and as far as at the time I was aware, hadn't ever been vetted. What are some of those red flags I should look out for to make sure that my money is safe, that my purchase is safe, or what are some of those best practices I should kind of employ to make sure I don't get screwed over, right? And so luckily for Scott, you guys know him, so I was able to get a little bit of a thumbs up, right? But what, you know, for me, some of the red flags that I've had in the past have been, you know, misinformation, or people saying, you know, it comes from a smoke-free, pet-free home, only ever displayed or only pulled out of the package to be examined to put back in. Like, half the time I've ever heard that, I think of all the times that I've actually had my figure out on the desk posing it for Pose Wars, or all the things that you don't get to see with people's figures, right? So, you know, it was for me, I posed this question to you guys because this, as a figure collector and as somebody looking for advice myself, you know, I wanted some of that advice from the chat as well as you guys. You know, what are those red flags you guys look for when it comes to figure buying?
If I ever do decide to sell something and I say I pulled it out of the box just to inspect and put it back, you guys know it's true because my entire collection is in boxes.
If the website is www.toyorigin.com, red flag.
Wow.
Wow. First and foremost,
jugular.
Friends and family used to be a big red flag. Someone asking for friends and family payment. But I think in 2022, I think that's more accepted, at least for Americans. I'm not sure how Canada works with taxes because, I mean, you guys still got the Queen's boot on your neck, so I don't really know how that all works. But in America this year, taxing is a bit different, and so I've seen a lot of sellers switch to friends and family only, or I don't even know if most people either have the buyers pay the fees or whatever, but basically if you sell, I think it's over $400 or $600, you have to claim it on your taxes, and the sale, the amount that you get becomes much less. So people are doing friends and family to avoid that. But I think the big thing is if people get sketchy with asking for references, or if you ask them if you can put a post up seeking references, and definitely make sure to look into the references too, because if you look at their profile and it was made 2 weeks ago, like, that's a huge red flag. And definitely don't do business with someone with a fake name and a fake profile. Like if the profile looks janky, huge red flag. Most times I see people get scammed, and you look at the scammer's profile and it's like all these anime photos and, you know, one friend.
Yes.
You know, you got to make sure you're dealing with a real person. I always ask, if I'm not familiar with the person, for photos of the figure with a piece of paper with their name and today's date. Photos of the front and backs of the figures, the accessories. And I think it's also a bit of research on your part as a buyer. So, for example, if I was going to buy a figure from Dean, and let's say it was a Hot Toys Obi-Wan from A New Hope, I would know from just a few minutes of research that paint rubs from the dye on the cloak soaking into the portrait are pretty common issues, and I would ask the seller explicitly for photos of those areas. Some people will get annoyed and they won't want to do business with you, but honestly, to me, that's just dodging it. if they're acting like a douche to you when they're trying to get your money, they're not going to act any better with you if they're late on sending a figure or, if something comes up. So I usually back out of deals at that point. It's also important to set expectations with the seller. Like, hey, like, when can you ship this? Like, is that a good shipping date for you? Because a lot of times I'll see people say, like, hey, this guy was supposed to ship me something a month ago. And it's like, at some point you got to, be smart as a buyer and not allow someone to drag you on, weeks and weeks and weeks and weeks. Because really there will come a point where you're not able to get your money back. And that's usually, I think it's 6 months for PayPal goods and services. With credit cards, I think it just depends. But definitely do not be afraid if you get scammed through the mail. Filing mail fraud charges. Just go on the Postal Service website, put the information. They may ask you for evidence, I believe, but I've had to do it once or twice, and I don't know that anything ever came of it. But if it's a guy that's constantly scamming, you can usually help them build a case against that person. There's also some groups, I'm not that familiar with them because I really only deal with the Patreonies now, but there are some groups where you can actually there's like a scammer list, and you can check if that profile's on the list. Yeah, just even a Facebook search of the name. There was a guy a few years ago, Dean, I know you remember this, Ed Twist, scamming a bunch of people, and you could just search on Facebook his name, and all kinds of people that had been scammed by him would pop up in different groups. So I think you do have to be diligent, but I just think that also there's a lot of things you can do to make sure that you don't get scammed. Dean, do you want to talk about any of your red flags? And John, and then I'll go through what some of the people on Auxiliary wrote today.
Yeah, if they ask you to message them outside of the dating app, don't do it.
I was laughing, but I was muted.
That's okay. Yeah, I think, man, Zach pretty much nailed everything on the head. But yeah, a lot of the problems that used to be around aren't so much of a thing anymore. Like the friends and family thing, that used to be immediately. I'd be like, I'm not doing that. Immediately, no. I've also just kind of just stopped buying from people I don't know. If it's not through an app like Mercari or eBay, I don't go through their groups anymore usually. I'm trying to think of any red flags stick out for me in particular that Zach didn't mention. Because it's pretty normal to ask for references. I don't think that's out of the question. Man,
While you're thinking of that, Sam says, have you ever had a problem in the CW chat? If so, how have you handled it? Everyone in the CW
with the
chat
Patreonies? Oh,
generally treats everyone with a lot of respect. Now, we have had a few instances where people in the community were calling people out as scammers, and myself and another individual who shall remain unnamed went in a chat with them and mediated it, and it was going to be a show. It was going to be called Figure Court. It was actually pretty. It was like Judge Judy.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was pretty cool. It's a cool concept, but we were able to mediate like 2 or 3, fairly ugly situations and have both parties be fairly happy. But I think in the Patreon chat, I think in there everyone has a level of respect for each other, and then also I think there's also that level of respect for Dean and myself. So if shit ever hit the fan, we would set them aside, have a little chat, make them an offer they can't refuse, and it would be fixed. It's hard to scam people when you know everything about each other and you know where they sleep and all these things. And
Zach just pulled them aside and said, "You don't shit where you eat, and you really don't shit where I eat," and they understood.
Goddamn right. So yeah, God forbid, Sam. I don't think we've had that problem yet, but if it comes up, we'll handle it. We got the enforcer John for the north of the border. I got Dean the Dream Martin for south. But
that seems racial.
A little bit.
We'll crack some kneecaps.
There we go. Look at this, Ed Twist in the chat.
Yeah, we want some figures.
Oh my god! What the fuck?
I don't get it. What's so fucking funny here now?
Bro, Okay,
Ed Twist, bro.
Ed Twist is like notorious con man. Like not only figure wise, but
he was like scamming Mexican immigrants out of like hundreds of thousands of dollars. He's a piece of shit person.
yeah, and then he like started these like horrible custom jobs, like figures.
Oh yeah, I remember
and then like
that, yeah.
asking like $1,000, and people who were like desperate to get these things, like a Darth Revan, were paying it. And then they would like either never get their figure, or they would get pretty much exactly what they thought they were paying for. And they're like, this is garbage. It's like, yeah, no shit. Like, did you not get that from the pictures? And yeah, there was like Facebook posts like, oh, this guy's like wanted or what? I don't remember.
Good
It
night,
was
Mark.
all-
My sweet
buddy.
boy. Good night.
It was a
What's going on,
whole
Art?
fucking.
Thanks for
it was
tuning in,
like-
buddy.
It was a whole.
Ed Twist, at least my windows stay closed on my customs. Jesus Christ.
Oh my god.
John, red
is
flags.
No, I think you guys really said everything. Again, it's when I don't buy. I try not to buy on Marketplace, but like for example, I bought once of someone in the States. He turned out to be a cop, so I asked him to send me a picture of his badge, and he actually sent it. I did it through PayPal.
weird.
It was weird. He showed me his Instagram and everything. Do a little bit of homework. Don't just be spending out your money. If you're buying off a BST, the community is great. They'll give you referrals. We don't even wait. Like Fern put a post up, or Eddie puts we'll put trusted seller right in the comments. Try to buy local in a safe spot, somewhere public. Don't go into the shadows and be buying your figures there or selling your figures. Red flags, Facebook names. You guys can tell. If you go in to message this person and you have a gut feeling that says something's not right here, yeah, trust your gut, is what I would say. Look at their profile photos. I see this now on Facebook. People will message me if I'm selling something, and it doesn't even show a profile photo. I guess their account's private or whatnot, and it just shows the icon, the cartoon icon. Yeah,
That means they haven't uploaded a photo yet. Badfish says, does the same go for selling get references? 100%, bro. You are probably more likely to be ripped off as a seller than as a buyer. 100%, bro. Also, if anyone watching our channel, like if we know you from the comments, if you get ripped off, holla at your boy, and we'll make it right. Yeah, well, depends. We'll intervene on your behalf. Public pressure is a powerful thing.
I liked what you said, Zach. Sorry to interrupt. One quick thing, and that was know the figure. Because I bought like my Bane figure that I got from Hot Toys. He was loose, no box. Only came with the hand accessories that he came with, or the hand sculpts. And because I knew that he had a scar on the back of the neck for the body, and like Hot Toys on the bottom of the shoes and everything, I felt confident spending the money in person when the guy literally just handed me a figure across. So I think that was good. The references part I find tricky because I've never sold a figure online. So although I know I trust myself, and I know if somebody wanted to buy one of my figures, I could be trusted, and I would do it properly. But again, sometimes getting references is still kind of hard if you've never really sold or bought much before. So
100%. Sam says that's a big one, John. 25 years to collecting #1. Trust your gut. Love to see it. We put up the question on auxiliary. Brenton says PM for price. You love to see that. John Smith created a Facebook account yesterday, has no profile photo, wants to be paid friends and family, yet he has no family and friends. Jason Nelson, as a buyer and occasional seller, if someone flakes with no contact as to why they flaked out, they make my beware list. I always try to stay with local sellers and established websites. Very few times will I purchase from national Facebook groups. Manny the Man Gonzalez. Pose Wars has taught me to rethink those museum-only posts. Brenton says new only open for inspection means I displayed it in a DTOF in a museum pose. Plus, I disagree that it's still new once the seal has been broken. Mine is when they put only open for display and you zoom in on the figure and there's dust all over it. Manny says, another favorite of mine is I know what I have, and I put make an offer. And Manny said, no, it's shoot me offers. And I love it when they put low ballers will be ignored. It's like, bro, just fucking tell me what you want. Don't waste either of our time. Manny says, I only accept Western Union. Yeah, love to see it. Don says, last one, another turn off, no low ballers, i.e. only high rollers for their $1,000 Mark 46. Pete Cass says motherfuckers chancing their arm and way overpricing shit, and when you comment about it on their post, they basically call you a cunt and say it's none of your business what they charge for their stuff. And then you check the price 5 minutes later and they've halved it. It's a very specific occasion. Pete should have tagged him and bagged him. Art says when they say check eBay, if I wanted eBay prices, I'd go to eBay. Don says missing accessories, flaking on the belt, slight scuff on the head sculpt, but everything else is perfect in mint condition from a smoke-free and pet-free home, but smells like mothballs. So lots to watch out there, boys. Ben, excellent.
One more quick. Luke, thanks for tuning in, brother. It says,
yes.
I messaged someone, and every reply they send is an audio clip, nothing in writing. I can't stand that.
Oh,
bro,
wow.
If you send me an audio message, there is a 0% chance I will listen to it. Like 100%. The sketchiest people I've ever dealt with in streaming or in deals always send audio messages. Those aren't saved to Facebook. They will go away after a time. You need it in writing. You can't screenshot a voice recording, my friends. 100% in writing. That's a pro tip right there, my friend.
Luke is a professional.
That's a huge pro tip. Let's get into movie news. The Batman sequel is confirmed. Robert Pattinson and Zoe Kravitz returning. I believe DC was having like a DC cinema event today or something like that. So that is confirmed. So very cool to see that the Batman is getting a sequel. And our movie of the week, brought to you by Dean at the Dream Martin, was Rurouni Kenshin Origins in 1868. After the Bakumatsu War ends, the ex-assassin Kenshin Himura traverses Japan with an inverted sword to defend the needy without killing. I'll be honest, I was not looking forward to this movie. But I do have some questions about it. So my first question, Dean, this is based on a comic or a manga, or am I incorrect?
Yes.
You're on mute? Oh, okay.
Oh, it is, yes? Okay. So I watched it. You're glitching out just a touch. I watched it with the dubbed, I guess. So the audio was in English. And boy, that was a rough dub. It was a rough dub. If I had more time and I was able to fully sit down, I think I will rewatch it with the original audio with the subtitles. But this was a much better movie than I really was thinking, to be honest. I wasn't looking forward to watching it. But I think the plot was really good. I think the action and the fight choreography was fantastic. You didn't get a lot of shaky cam. You got some real precise camera movements. And I really never felt like I lost track of the action. The one thing that I was a bit confused about, Dean, I guess the techniques that the false Rurouni Kenshin was using, where his eyes would turn black, that's just like a martial arts technique. It's not like magic or anything, right? Or like a superpower, like we could make people stop breathing or like freeze.
Yeah, there's no like mystical powers in the show.
Okay, it's just like technique. It's like crouching tiger, hidden dragon, like.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was my only real.
I mean, you liked it though.
Yes. I didn't think I was gonna like it. I'll be honest. I was kind of dreading to watch it, but after, I think the scene that really kind of converted me a bit was when I was watching I guess like the police headquarters scene. It felt like I was watching like fucking feudal Japan Terminator, bro. Like that assassin was just fucking murking every single person. It was fucking awesome. And then the scene where they're trying to take over the girls' dojo and he like just beats all their asses with like just hand to hand shit. I don't know. I really liked it from that point on. And it's definitely a movie I think I'm going to have to go back and rewatch. But it seems like on Netflix there's a ton of sequels. So I'm also kind of interested in that. But then also to check out the anime. So I was a fan. I don't think I did the film full justice by watching it dubbed. I think I definitely need to watch it subbed. But I think the cinematography was great. I think the fighting was great. I think the speed of everything was great, and the technique was great. I have some thoughts about the plot, but I might message you after, Dean, or we can talk after the stream. But it was, I think overall, I'm like at 8.5 out of 10. I think I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, the later movies, the choreography is like even better because they really kind of perfect it. This movie, it's fun. They combine like two of the bad guys into one guy, and use some story elements from later on in the series in this one. So it's kind of got its own uniqueness to it that I really enjoyed, coming from a fan of the anime. The choreography in this movie, they actually used real swords. Obviously not sharp, but when he fucking hits people, they're legitimately getting hit with a real fucking sword. And they like everybody had to like prepare themselves for like being in this movie, because they're like, if you're gonna be like, getting hit, it needs to look real, so you're gonna get fucking hit. So like all those hits you see when he's fucking running through people and hitting them, like they're legitimately swallowing a tough nut, as Ben says. But yeah, this movie, it came out in 2012. It doesn't feel like it's that old. When you watch it, it feels like it's maybe it's the style of how they filmed it, or like the camera quality. I don't know, but it looks fucking beautiful. It's a beautifully shot movie. Yeah, it's a fun kind of, I don't want to call it an adventure movie. What would you call it, Zach?
I thought it was more like an action movie. Maybe with like a little bit of mystery, because they're trying to figure out like who the
action event
Bushido was, or I don't know what his name is, but like, because there's that mystery, like he's like, wait a second. Yeah, he's like, that's me, but that's not me. Like,
right, he's a false, yeah, it's so fun. It's a really good movie. And like I said, there's 5 of them. So if you really enjoy this, you got a lot of content to watch. And like I said, the fights and the stage gets a lot bigger in the later movies. So a lot to look forward to. I'm glad you liked it. I want to hear what John has to say.
I love you, Dean. You're a good guy. Heartwarming guy. This is not my kind of, this is not my cup. My film. Rashashuni, what's it called again? Rurouni
Kenshin. Bro.
Rurouni Kenshin, macaroni and cheese. 2 hours and 14 minutes, and a 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb, which I think is high. Look, you made me watch Princess Momofuku, and that was cool because the story was like loving after, like with the wilderness and all that. I appreciated that one. This, I can't. I couldn't even finish it.
What the fuck?
I couldn't,
or you wouldn't. There's a difference.
A little bit of both. I couldn't and I wouldn't.
I feel like he didn't even bother watching it, and he's just saying he didn't.
I promise you, the
what
fighting.
Scene did you get to? What scene did you get to?
Something with a police station, and then the assassins were gonna, fucking the guy was gonna kill. It was like a massacre, but the action scenes were cool. And one thing, action scenes were kind of cool, a little gory to be honest, but I appreciate what you said about it was made in 2012. It doesn't. You can't tell. If you put this out and said it was made 3 years ago, I could believe it. 100%. It doesn't look like it was made in 2012. But I watched it dubbed with the subtitles, so maybe that's why. I don't know. Not my kind of movie. I understand people who can appreciate it. Did they make this as an anime, like as an actual show, or was it just in the books?
Yeah, it was an animation.
It's an anime. In fact, it's on Netflix as well.
Maybe I can appreciate it a little bit more as an anime, but live action, it's not my cup of tea.
For me, I kind of echo all 3 of your points, including John's. So I was also not looking forward to necessarily seeing this film because I don't typically love watching subtitles or like subtitles on films. But I also have had bad experiences with bad dubs before that ended up kind of wrecking the film for me a little bit. So I ended up watching this one with the subtitles on, and I find it very distracting to try and watch the show or the movie itself alongside trying to read the whole time. Maybe that's just like a learning disability or something that I have. But that part I didn't totally love, but I think for the rest of it, I agree with then Zach and Dean, where I did think the choreography was beautiful. I think even this picture that we're looking at shows kind of some of what Dean was saying in terms of like the fact that they're actually using what looks like real weapons. They did look really real the whole movie. I was thinking like is that an actual sword that guy's using? Like that's pretty cool. And it looked like the stakes were high when the blows were being kind of drawn, and like you saw the action. It looked pretty good. So I would say for me, I liked the choreography. I definitely liked the actors. I liked some of the story elements. I did like some of that mystery and intrigue that they kind of brought to the story. For me, I just wish that, like, again, that it was either like there was a better dub version that I could have found, or that it wouldn't have necessarily been the subtitles, because I lose a little bit of it of my excitement for that aspect of it. But it was cool that you picked this one, Dean, because I don't think I ever would have watched this movie otherwise. So that's one of my favorite parts of movie of the week is seeing a film or being forced into it a little bit that you know something you might not ever pick up on your own terms, and then when you watch it, you're like, okay, that was different. That was different than anything I'd seen in a really long time. So for that, I appreciate it at 100%.
John,
Nice.
it is your choice for movie of the week. What are we picking?
I'm going for Full Circle. You're gonna guess what it is, Zach? Full Circle.
Richie Rich 2?
No, we'd be at Richie Rich 4 for it. Jeez, that was a good movie. Come on.
The Patriot?
Moon Knight, the final episode.
Oh, that means I have to watch like the 4 episodes before that.
Well, yeah.
Is there not 6 episodes? I thought there was 6.
Oh.
Is it 6?
Good
Whatever.
round.
The last this episode coming up. Isn't this the last episode?
No, I think this
I
is
don't think
episode
so.
5.
This is penultimate, bro.
Episode 5?
Second. I think it's. I could be wrong,
think
but I
it's
think it's
6.
second last episode.
Second last. Okay, so we're gonna watch the second last. No, you guys don't want to do that?
No, pick a movie, bro. It's movie of the week, not TV
Okay.
episode of the week.
I'm gonna go with what's his face said then, because I haven't watched this either. See if you guys can stream it. I don't even know if I can stream it, but we'll find it. Sam said, I was sad to hear on John's show no one watched Labyrinth. Broke my heart. Needs to be a movie of the week.
I've
It's a
actually
great
been wanting to
classic.
watch that movie again.
Good.
Let me see where it's streaming at.
Is that the David Bowie version?
Yeah. I'll choose Labyrinth.
Ooh.
It's a long movie, I think, from what I remember. It's an investment.
We'll figure it out. We shall figure it out. Well, that's our movie of the week. So
That's the movie of the
Labyrinth
week. Thank you,
is
Sam.
John's
We'll do
choice.
it for
Thank
you. I
Sam.
dedicate that one to you, buddy.
Dean, thumbs up if you want to read this, or if you think you're still glitching, thumbs down. I think he's glitching because he's not doing anything. John, can we read the Patreonies? Oh, no.
Did he get it?
I don't
Of
know.
course.
I think he's glitching.
All right, I'll take it over.
Yeah.
The
He's
pillars.
slowly blinking at us.
Hello?
Dean,
Am I in?
see me?
Nope, you're
Yes.
It's like
He's
Yeah.
back.
you guys
we lost him.
talk, your mouths move, and then you start talking.
I'm talking in dub, bro.
Go for it, John.
All right, the 3 pillars that hold this channel up. We're going to start with Sean Fear, Ian CB, Renee Mendez, Eric Mariscal, Quinn Aguirre, Leo Hernandez, King Louis, Mark Pearson, Paul Schreiber. We have James Colley, Ekwan, Chris Valencerina, Ben Thomas, Chris Letty, David Jones, Sam Gist, Daminator Juan Beretta. You got the Sweet, Danny Lee, Deanie Martin, Stephen Cred, Big Fern, King Zach, Caesar Mariquin, Mark Phillips, Lisa Martin Bolonsky, Rick DeGregorio, The Everyday Collector, Ricardo Valdez, Jose CZ, Erwin Azucena, The Illustrious Rainer, Alan Morgan, Tukathri, Wah. We got Derek. I'm not even going to try that. Derek Biazadinsky, Carlos Saavedra. We got Matt Clevenger, Seth Tucker, CC3PO, Scott Smith, Don Mayton, Bola Boy, Jimmy James, Stephen Percha, Sean Yautsy, Scott Bradley, Stephen Maria Stanley, Eddie Manzanares, Louis Bennett, Chip Perrin, Jimmy Hernandez, Gigi the Judgmental, and Brenton Palmer. Pew pew. Pew pew pew
There he
pew.
is.
Lackluster.
We have. Oh, look at this. Scott said it might be on HBO Max. Let me What the fuck? Let me double check. Sorry.
I probably picked a movie I'm not even gonna be able to watch. Yeah, I hate to see it. We'll figure it out.
Our May Patreon benefits. We have the Bricks and Brew Hollow sticker, which actually just got here today. And we have, so this is the first time we've ever done anything like this. It's the Collecting Weekly Pogs. This is shout out to Ben Thomas. But you're going to get a random Pog. It can either be the common, which is about 3 times more likely than the Chase Pog. And I think there's only going to be like 15 Chase Pogs out of 50, something like that. So you're going to get one or the other. I think if you're top tier, you'll probably get both. I've got to talk to Dean about that. But then if you're top tier, you're also going to get a full set. It's like an actual unpunched card of Pogs. And it's going to be the Oxfather Pog, the Dino's Cereal Pog, the Jumbo Pog, the What a Guy Pog, the So Many Bees Pog, and a different gold Chase Pog with a different backing for the deluxe set. So we're only making 25 of these. We have, I think, like 13 top tier Patreonies. So this is the new top tier benefit going forward. So if you rejoin or if you join Patreon at the top tier, instead of the poster going forward, you're going to get a Pog set until they run out, and then we'll make a new design and carry that one forward. So shout out to Ben for the great design, great idea rather. And shout out to Paul Schreiber for making these Pogs possible. But yeah, these are going to be shipping out late May, last week of May. And they're fucking awesome. I'm super excited to get these in you guys' hands. We have 3 tiers. The $5 Sweet Angel tier, which is the certified, or is the stickers sent straight to your door and access to Ox After Dark replay. The certified Crispy tier, which is the figure fix assistance, replay, and the stickers. You also have the $25 tier, which is the deluxe Pog set on your first pledge, and doubles of all the stickers we send. So one for you, one for a buddy, and all the benefits of the previous tiers. If you're international, postage will be charged above $5. But other than that, great set of tiers there. And we thank you guys for keeping the channel going. For YouTube channel members, we have Mojo Z78, OG Fan, Absolute Irwin, Bamad, Test Just One, Mark Pearson, DK Avenger 702, Ben Thomas, OMFG Rick, Justin Harass, S Beam, Paul Schreiber, Andres IB, Andrew Gibo, Daminator, CC3PO, Sam Gist, Lemur Hernandez, Thomas Clark, and Carlito. So those are a bunch of sweet angels. We do have actually the artwork that John wants to use for his emojis. So once we unlock that, it'll be ready to go. So I think we need like 4 or 5 channel members left. So hit that link if you want to join. We'll get a John emoji going in the chat. Sam says, just to see if you get the exclusive log out a whole new level to this. You'd love to see it. And here's a look at the benefits you get for the membership. You get 99 cents charge if you're a Patreon. So if you're already part of our Patreon, it's 99 cents to join, or $2.99 for the Peanut Gallery tier. You get loyalty badges, emojis, and member shoutouts. You also get access with the channel membership and the Patreon to our Discord channel. You'll get different rankings depending on what you get. But that's a fun way to also keep in touch with us. Our network, we have Collecting Weekly Live, OFAC, Small Talk, After Dark, Bricks and Brews, The Ringcast, Collecting Weekly Live Unboxing, Collectors Club, Pose Wars, and Live and Let Dice. This week we have After Dark coming up Wednesday at 10:30. Thursday, Small Talk, I want to say at 8:30. Friday, Club, John, remind me, it's at 8 p.m. or 10 p.m.?
It's at 11 Eastern time, so
okay,
9
Central.
9 your
9,
time.
thank you for that. And then on Saturday at 8 p.m., Live and Let Dice is returning, barring anything crazy. So that is that's what we're doing, and it's going to be a fun episode. It's been about a month that we've been off, and we've been building up a big encounter. So if you want to show us some support and give us some blesses or banes through Super Chat, the show starts at 8, and it should be a fun one. As far as TeePublic goes, TeePublic, they do go on sale pretty often. They are actually just on sale this week, but shirts start at $13 when they're on sale, or $20 when they're not. So be sure to sign up for those if you want. We have all kinds of different designs there, and we can upload any designs that are on there if you guys want them. And then John, can you please read the socials for me, please?
Yeah, you guys are going to want to follow on Facebook, the main page, Collecting Weekly. We also have the group page, Collecting Weekly Auxiliary. We were talking about the BSTs, and if you got stuff you want to sell, head over there. Kind of good place where we talk about all the stuff that goes on in the shows, figure releases, statue releases, all that fun stuff. On Instagram, we got @collectingweekly, @collectingweekly_ clips for all the funny gags and bloopers and all that fun stuff from all our shows. I'll put some up tonight so you guys can have a good laugh before bed. Also follow @the_everyday_collector. There I'll post statue stuff that we talk about on club, figure updates, and all that kind of fun and jazz, comic stuff. Just follow every social media thing I just mentioned, okay? Do it. If you're not doing it, do it.
Fern said we missed Bricks and Brews on Sunday.
Yeah, Bricks and Brews is on Sunday. My apologies. I was just thinking Sunday to Saturday. But yeah, Bricks and Brews is on Sunday. I think it's 4 to 5, depending on when everyone's able to make it. But it should be a fun show. I have a very cool mock that I'll be working on. Hitting the ground hard with the mock, so it's going to be a really good one. Erwin says, how many members needed to unlock a Danny Lee sticker? I assume you mean emoji. But Danny Lee is eligible as a host to get his own physical sticker. But after John's, I think it's another 5 members needed, so probably 8 or 9 members left to get a Danny Lee emoji in the chat. But Manny actually just designed a sticker for Rainer, so that could be coming up in June. We got to have the Patreonies vote on that. We kind of let you guys pick the stickers for the most part, so we'll be voting on June here pretty soon.
Manny also updated my sticker.
Really? How have I not known about this?
I'll send it to you right now. He finished it today.
And I wasn't aware. Just kidding. But yeah, that could definitely be done. And Sam also says, my son wants me to pay for CW Patreon. I don't, if you really want to, bro, but you're already the top tier, baby. And you can give that extra sticker to your son. That'd be very cool. Free shout-outs time. I want to give a shout-out to the creators of Wingspan. Their customer service department sent me that part I was missing. Absolutely free. Great customer service. Didn't even hassle me for any money or anything. They shipped it 2-day mail. You'll love to see it. And I wanted to shout them out for that. It's a great game. You get it on Steam, iOS. And if you get it on iOS, you can play with me. And we can play Wingspan and talk birds all day. Dean, The Dream Martin, John, Ben, do you guys have any shout outs you want to give?
I want to give a shout out to the community as always. Thank you guys for tuning in tonight, and on Fridays as well for the Collectors Club. You guys come out all the time, and I appreciate it. And putting in a nice chat and saying hello means a lot, so appreciate the support. I'll say a little shout out to Ben too. Had a rough day at work and pulled it off here tonight. So thanks, Ben.
Yeah. Shout out to Ben. Shout out to Shauna. Happy anniversary, Ben. It's very cool.
Happy anniversary, my God.
Very cool.
I'm the lucky one, honestly.
You really
are. Totally. 100%. I've got 2 really quick ones. So I alluded to it earlier, but I want to shout out Scott Bradley. He heard my pain that I'd missed on a 1/6 figure recently. Happens to be Star Trek. And he reached out to me in the personal chats through the groups and kind of introduced himself because I'd never talked to him before, and has given me a very, an offer I can't refuse.
Big peps.
So I'm thinking about getting it for my birthday present, which is cool, just coming up in June. So big shout out to Scott. That was really cool of him to reach out and to give me a really good price on something that is definitely a higher price item already. And then my second quick shout out is my brother Jacob has actually been joining the shows lately, watching every Tuesday night from Ontario, which is pretty cool. And his tag is Thor123 Gaming. So if you see him in the chats, that's my brother. So that's pretty cool.
I almost banned that
we've
guy.
got another viewer. So
I thought it was a spam.
It wasn't spam.
Sorry, Thor.
So yeah, but thanks everybody for watching as well. It's great, always a great time. Thanks for having me back.
Welcome.
Also wanted to give a quick shout out to everyone last week that sat through that shit show of a tech issue that we were having. It was no fun.
I thought you were going to say the Star Trek segment.
Jesus Christ.
I'm just kidding. I'm only kidding. Go on.
The people on the chat are savage this week. They're asking for the Danny Lee sticker with a 9.4 on it, bro. That's
oh my God.
Jesus Christ.
Shout out.
If you guys do, yeah, shout out to all the pair. Shout out to Johnny Depp, bro. Let me see this. Oh, look at that. You got glasses now on your sticker, Dean. We're not doing a reissue because it's
and
not
a beard. I didn't have a beard on the first one.
Oh yeah, you had like peach fuzz. Look at that. Look at that. You'll love to see it.
It's not a reissue. It's a totally new sticker.
It's a remake.
It's a 2.0
with innovation. Yeah.
In fact, let's. I don't want to kill the bit. Let's show it to the people on.
Stick
in the
that.
world.
Hot Toys, stick it to you there.
Look at that. All right, let's do.
And
this.
that's only if the people want it. They might not. They might like the original one. You know.
Yeah, because well, to be fair, you might also have a Lord of the Rings one coming in like a year, so that could be a thing also. But I like this. Look at this. Look at this action right here. Dean the Dream Martin with the glasses and the beard. I love it.
Couldn't you change the background to a different color so it's like a...
It looks like you're in front of the rising sun, bro. What the fuck?
It almost looks like Steven Seagal a little.
Steven Seagal could never.
Yeah, he wishes, bro.
We will talk about that. June is my birthday month, so maybe we need another Oxfather sticker. Or the Ox... No, that's a super secret sticker. Just kidding.
Maybe
Anyways.
a Kevin sticker.
That's what I was saying. I like
Can we
Kevin.
get Dean's chair with Kevin on the top of it? That's
Shauna
awesome.
would want a Kevin sticker, 100%.
Shout out to Manny. Actually, let me pull up the Rainer sticker also.
Oh, that one was funny.
Let me go to Manny's Instagram. Real
There's
quick.
Kevin.
Let's see, Merit Logos Instagram.
Oh,
Also,
you guys-
for those that are that still care about the Dopey Duck NFT project, it. How dare you, bro? What's straight for the heart?
I thought that was
The
kaput.
project. Okay, so let's show this real quick. We're just showing all of our things today. Look at
How
that,
the
Ben.
what the hell? Ben got one? Wow.
Did you join the Dopey Duck Discord, bro?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, you had to join.
Oh, did you
man.
really? Oh,
I did.
remind me. I'll send you one next month. This is the Air Jesus 5000s, the Rainer sticker. Bro.
Oh my god.
Wow.
He always wears these at the barbecue
Everywhere. At the
And
everywhere.
I wanted to show you guys this also.
You see,
Let me.
the committed Canadian doesn't get it. You see that? Fucking slap.
I'll send it to you, bro. Don't worry about it. I got you, baby.
Where's my Godfather?
Look at this. The Dopey Ducks NFT page is live. I just need to do a few more things, and I'm so excited.
Not to be confused with Dopey Duck NFT, which
Or Dopey Dick NFT. Fuck you.
there's a
Dean.
lot of fucking bullshit out there, guys.
There's a lot of
This is
dopes
the
out
real, the real deal.
The
here.
real deal.
I talked to a lot of people that are into NFTs. They really have. They said this one's the best.
I want a
Anyways.
tough nut to swallow shirt.
Oh my
Jesus
god!
Christ, we need the honey
I
hole
bet
and
you
tough
just want a
nut.
tough nut to swallow, bro.
You nasty boy. I'm gonna message Shauna right now. Anyways, I'm Zach.
I'm booking my flight to Canada right now.
Wow, you're gonna give him a tough nut to
Wow.
swallow, eh?
Yeah, dude.
Jesus. You hate to see it.
Got two of them for you.
I'm Dean.
Oh god.
I'm John. I'm Ben. Jesus,
Cleveland.
what the fuck was that? We all.
Wow.
We all.
I was ready for it.
Oh, you guys.
Anyways,
this
I'm
is
Zach.
the level
I'm
of
Dean.
professionalism. I'm John, the everyday
Ben
motherfucking
Thomas.
collector.